Are you transgender with little to no support? Hey friends, it's Jamie, and I'm back today with another video about living as transgender with little to no support. But before we get into this video, I invite you to go to my website, www.wholeletteruhealth.com. There you'll learn about me and my practice where I help transgender people navigate the transition process into their full authentic self. If you'd like to learn more or would like to schedule a free 30-minute connection call with me, again, go to my website, www.wholeletteruhealth.com. Now let's get into this video. So let's be honest, when it comes to being trans and coming out as trans, one of the most important aspects of coming out is having a support system that is there to support you in your transition challenges. For some places, we are definitely living in 2021 where there is amazing transition resources. There's community support groups, there are transgender mental health professionals with transgender experience, there's primary care physicians who just dedicate their practice to trans individuals. These are amazing opportunities, and I have seen firsthand individuals take advantage of these resources and really flourish within their transition to live normal lives. And it's amazing, and I'm so excited that these resources are popping up and becoming more and more available. However, that's in some key locations. Other locations, it can be like we're living back in 1995 where there's almost nothing, and it can be extremely dangerous to live as transgender. You might have safety issues. You might be fired from your job. You might lose your house. You might lose your spouse. You might just live in a space that's not best serving you and your trans experience. And that can be hard because a lot of transgender individuals might be forced to live where they currently are, whether that's from many different circumstances. But that doesn't mean you shouldn't have to put transition aside and not transition. You should still be afforded the opportunity to transition and live as your purest, most authentic self. And for me, I really relate with this. I grew up just near the Canadian border where I had limited to no resources. There was only one transgender individual in my town, and she was mocked like no tomorrow. Seeing her go through the transition process really scared me, and I felt like kept me in the closet for a little bit longer than I should have been. Because I didn't want to be treated like her. But then, as you know, within my transition story of me coming out and my parents outing me and so forth, we took the next step to trying to find trans support care within my community. And that was really challenging. We went to a primary care physician, and there was no primary care physician within the area that has ever dealt with a transgender individual. We tried to look for a mental health professional, and there was no mental health professional that has ever really dealt with trans individuals. I ended up seeking a mental health professional, and she was okay. She was nice, and she allowed me to talk things out that I had never spoken before in my life. But in reality, she knew nothing about what it meant to be transgender or unique transgender challenges because she's simply never seen anyone. And I know this goes on today because I have members that work with me who live in spaces and areas where they don't have that community support or support to help them authentically flourish within their own transition. One member I can think of lives in a state, a very rural state in the middle of nowhere. It's a really small town, and there's no options for her. She seeks a therapist, but it's not a trans-related therapist. She also seeks services from me, but she also has challenges seeing her own primary care physician because if she's afraid, the town is so small that the primary care physician might out her. You never really know. Even though it's against HIPAA policies, it's still a scary thing. So she has to seek care from the neighboring practitioner. There's a lot of things that come up within individuals who do not have trans supportive spaces that can really deter their transition. I know it really hindered mine. In fact, for me, I had to, if I wanted to seek transgender care within my own state, I had to drive 4 hours to the nearest trans care provider. And I just wasn't going to do that. Now, luckily, I had the privilege of having a supportive family to help me move and live in an area where I could seek out support, mental health professionals, primary care physicians, and so forth. But I know not everyone is afforded that option. So this video is about what to do to gain that support, to help you get support when you have little to no support within your area. The first thing I encourage you all to do is really seek out the local resources. Communities are starting to build more and more LGBT resources, and it's becoming more and more popular. I've worked with individuals who didn't believe they had any LGBTQ support systems within their area, and then working with me, we did dig and find some really great, juicy resources that helped individuals transition within their own local community. I also encourage you to look for trans care professionals, healthcare professionals, whether that's mental health or primary care physicians, and looking for individuals who are LGBTQ inclusive. They might not be the save-all answer, but they might be able to direct you to resources that will help you flourish within your transition. And as I mentioned, some of us live like it's 1995, where there's little to no trans resources within our community, and that can be really frustrating and challenging. The good thing is we all live in a 2021 world. That means if you're watching this video right now, you have the capability to reach out and seek health services online. So you're invited to go and search online and find those community support spaces that will really help you flourish within your transition and navigate the unique challenges that you're in. I want you to know that you're not alone. There are a lot of individuals who live in communities where they have little to no support. But that doesn't mean you can't receive support and find others that are like you, because trust me, there are so many. So if you want to learn more, and I invite you to come try out my community, because it's an amazing community where you can find support in a place that you will find others just like you. You can schedule your free connection call at www.wholeletteruhealth.com. Again, that's a free 30-minute connection call with me, and we can work and strategize together to help you truly flourish and feel supported within your own transition. Thank you all so much, and have a great rest of your day. Goodbye.